So I'm talking on, have you lost the luster? Like, have you lost your luster? Or you feel like your relationship has lost its luster? What do you do? I think that happens. I think people can go through that, especially if the relationship is longer term. You start getting into a decade or decades, and you start to realize that you have got to continue to create the next level of vision. Or I mean, the things can happen. Things can happen. You can set out with this vision for your life. You can set out with this vision for your relationship. And then there are things that happen along the way. There are health crises that happen. Sometimes a parent is in a health crisis. That impacts the relationship. Bringing children into a relationship is one of the most fulfilling things and the most challenging things for a relationship. There could be a health event for the child. All of these things will come in, and you'll kind of cope with what happens. But eventually, and hopefully sooner rather than later, you decide to clarify your vision in a new unit of time. Clarify the vision for you, for your relationship. What's the partner like that shows up in the ideal relationship, or the ultimate scene that you can create for your relationship? How do the partners show up? How do you show up? And what you can do is start to create, start to play to that version of that person. I have been through some things with my own husband and his health, and with caring for a parent who had health issues, having another parent live with us. And they're all incredibly rewarding on a certain level, and on another level, they're very draining to the spark. They're draining to the spark. There's a spark that a relationship needs to have. And if you're not feeding the spark, I think the spark can go out. You have to know to feed the spark. You might start to feed the spark and boom, it's ignited. Or you may have to start to feed the spark and it takes a little longer. The biggest thing to say here is you cannot make the results conditional. You have to choose a vision. You have to choose an outcome, and then you play to that outcome. It will never, ever, ever come to fruition. It will never manifest if you're not playing to the vision. If the vision is conditional on, if he does this, this, or this, then I will do this. Or if she does this, this, and this, then I can see this happening. There's a flaw. It's flawed, because whatever your conditions is the logical mind jumping in there and interfering with the creative vision that's a spirit-driven vision that's in your heart, in your mind. It's your vision. You have to play to your vision. And the quickest way to increase the luster and to increase the excitement in your own self is to clarify that vision, and then start modeling the person who would be in that vision. And it takes intention, but once the shift happens, once you get on that path to recreating the magic, recreating the chemistry, recreating, the luster, it will take on a life of its own. And it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. You will actually bump your relationship to an even higher level. I was talking with one of my clients yesterday, and we were talking about this very thing, how every time you move through something together, even though one of you might be ahead of the other, every time you go through something and you come out the other side of it, you've up-leveled. There's some kind of up-level that you experience as a partner within the relationship. And then the relationship as an entity, that's a dynamic creation that you and your partner are creating, whether you are creating by default or by design, it up-levels as well. And there is a nice little romance period that you experience. It's a little It's a new level of honeymoon period that is a fantastic reward for staying the course and being determined to re-clarify the vision, embody the person who would be in that vision, and then be committed to seeing that vision come to fruition.